a cynic, but I didn't see it happening, but it has.
It has. The dream run, it's still alive. It's still alive for Acend, and I'm with you. This is not where I thought we'd be going. Heretics looking to get aggressive here initially in the pistol round. It's only one member to hold down the 4 CNED. Actually, going to manage to back away, but 21 HP forced out. The Nanny Swarm is perfect from pAura.
For a perfect way to get back into this. Just, as you said, there was nowhere to go for CNED. Just cornered in. As soon as he tried to get out of there, instantaneously got just burned down by the molly, and Acend trying to find their way back in. But look at this post plant. It's super well considered. Rubino in the dirtiest off angle to catch that cross towards Catwalk. And they know that time's going to be bought. They have to clear this. He actually goes on the peak, which gives Killers a chance now.
And actually everybody else boxed onto site, so potential here for Acend to come through and brute force this. The Lear comes through, it's perfectly placed, but nobody checks. Nukkye finally traded out, but a 2 for 2. Now, lowel and AvovA left to hold down the fort. Keyless, he finds the first. He's on for the 4-piece, he finds it. The headshot onto AvovA. Plenty of time to come through for the defuse. A textbook retake from Acend.
That first was so crucial as well. Roll your mind back to how this began. That off angle that was being held and controlled by Rubino. The fight that was garnered. You want to play that timing so well. Force the favorable scenario to buy that time to burn it down. But Keyless, those final 2. Where did he dig those out from? But this is what I want to talk about as well, Hypoc. Because again, these people aren't robots. I know sometimes it looks like it. They look so well considered and controlled, but they are humans. And in these grand finals, these final hurdles they face, people can either elevate or fall to the wayside. I'm looking at which players come alive in the hardest moments for them. And right now we're seeing that battle towards A long and a bit of a force buy from both sides.
Heretics, no surprise, are going to force into this one. 4 kills on the plant, absolutely expected here, but that first blood going to weaken their chances massively as Acend already stacked up for this one. pAura going to find the first. Coldamenta will reply. Actually, come through and try and force things into tree, and actually that plays into Ascend's hands, to be honest with you. Now find themselves at a 4v2.
Rubino and lowel. Tricky to hold still. Now the pressure starts to mount. You'd see the dash in, and CNED and Bone Cold keep it covered. There was danger there. Keep in mind, Heretics bought behind this round.
Yeah. It's a big one as well, and actually 4 survive, which means that they can ride this one out. Economy-wise, this is going to look really good for Acend. Actually, Heretics maybe throw a few sheriffs at this, a Bucky maybe.
One enemy
yeah, I mean, that's the best possible scenario, really, especially considering Heretics forced in, like you said, for Acend to take that as clean as they did. You can see it, sheriffs across the board. But Heretics, pAura one away from the lockdown, nothing else really achievable for them. But on the flip side, Keyless, with the start he's had, Empress online already.
Deploying drone.
I'm looking towards this. There's a lot of presence down here. There's a lot of players on the other side, not as clean as you'd want. And this forces back Acend. Oh no, a fumble. Nukkye's found CNED, and now they're stuck in towards this awkward fight where it's bloodied and brutal. And Nukkye's won 2 of these. And he's going to continue forward. Coldamenta needs to back away, but where do you get to? They've hit the brakes for a second, and this is why.
And actually, this is a huge win of AvovA. Elsewhere, going to find Bone Cold. That's the lurk on completely other side of the map here. Coldamenta will find one. Nano Swarm just blocking off his escape, but he's got a corner to play. But like I said, that kill on the other side of the map, AvovA going to have all the time and space to do whatever he wants. Coldamenta, 5 HP in a dream.
Now, start of that round wasn't as clean as you'd have liked to have seen, but the 2-1 scoreline. Regarding how we got here, a little curious, to be fair, the way the rounds have played out, but Acend's money, I want to look at this because it's not terrible.
No.
But it's lacking a little bit of that buffer, potentially.
I like the thinking. Like I said, they carry 4 Spectres into that. They want to try and convert it. It's an aggressive play into B main, and it doesn't go their way. But this one now, the weaponry coming back in, will be an even bigger win, to be honest with you, with Acend, considering second round force from a Heretics. Low move in initially. I was going to say, just keep your eye on, again, nukkye on that Reyna. He's going to try and lurk in, potentially through B. Throws the Leer in, and that's actually going to draw the wall out. So Stars are immediately responding to that.
I'm just watching that spike. This looks like kind of like that 3-2 crunch towards A. And nukkye start leading forward. Now, the players who were on short towards tree have actually fallen back towards site, and the timing is curious, but exceptionally good for Acend to at least find pAura, but there's that reflex coming in from short. lowel does very well to stay alive here. Now, where is that spike coming through? It will eventually cross once they've cleared towards backside. Smoke out towards heaven. This is going to be tough to play back in on. This should be a spike plant without too much of a problem.
I mean, actually not going to be able to get a kill on the way in. lowel actually going to get pAura back on. To man advantage going over to Heretics here. AvovA though in a dirty spot. Oh, he just jumped at the wrong time. CNED going to pick it up. It brings it back to a 3v3 now. Everybody boxed into main.
Position. Yeah, imagine if they still had that wall. That could change things up. They have so little left. It's just CNED with a little bit of utility. But now here we go. The trades come out. And it all comes down to lowel. And what a way to hold this one through.
Hold the line. I thought for a second there. Again, anything that can keep them boxed into main there. And I gotta say, Acend take that one. Like you said, imagine if the wall was still available.
One enemy remaining.
But Heretics tie things up 2-2 here. See now, this, I mean, what we see right here on the screen, anticipating some early round aggression. They're well set up for it. AvovA tucked all the way back in spawn. The alarm bot there for good measure also. Blade Storm from CNED. Again, read perfectly. Heretics are well equipped to deal with that.
Hey,
this is the map
we talk about this.
Yeah.
The default that they pull is very good at catching these aggressive plays. It's something that we've consistently credited them with. So we'll see if it continues to be this diligent in approach, but I'm not that surprised.
Ooh, nearly landing that one. CNED will respond onto pAura elsewhere. Bone Cold also. Man advantage goes to Acend.
Making this so tricky. This is so filthy. Look on the back. Oh no, that's two. CNED, here we go. And the narrative changes, doesn't it? When everything looked so good, but lowel out of nowhere digs them out of a hole. Stockstone called him enter, making this harder work for CNED, who's ready. Knife at his side. lowel predicts it. He stays alive for 29 HP now. Cut to pieces. Now the 1v1 becomes so intense. Timing is a huge factor in all of this. 30 seconds. For him to get his heal back, and the spike is left towards B main, but look at the flank coming out from CNED. lowel's internal clock is starting to predict this and consider this! But the timing is sublime for CNED, and you could never write him out!
Give this man a raise. Holy. The reposition there perfect. Like you said, you can see the cogs turning. lowel anticipated just at the last second, but second guesses himself. He's got it all to do. Like he said, he's got to wait for the heal there. Yes, damage CNED up, but he's got to dig that spike out of B main. It's in such an awkward position for him.
Swings and roundabouts on the money too, right?
Yeah.
That was a kind of, I don't want to say like a force buy. It was sheriffs and bits and pieces, but you had the ultimate from CNED, which garnered them the round pretty much. But of course, on the other side, now you can see Heretics suffering. And as excellent as they are, I don't see them having that same sort of pop-off potential here. Now, let's see what they can do with this. keyless, put in a tricky spot, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm underestimating nukkye here. Already finds CNED. That's a big scalp to be claiming. Popping the ultimate. Rubino wants to try and chase that down, try and do some damage on it, but at the moment, nothing really seen. And keyless is just enamored with this idea. Coldamanta bells him out and says, look, just go help towards B, just in case. They've at least instantly dealt with this pressure that was building. They've done well enough to bail them out of these situations.
Slow down for a second here as, and really is Acend looking to stabilize, and Heretics actually group up here. They're going to go all the way over towards A main. Towards Bone Cold. He's in a dirty little off angle up on the bricks. Eventually going to find the first. Ooh, actually a swing and a miss. The paranoia going to slow things down initially. He's going to get that smoke off as well. His teammates there. Coldamenta ready to bail him out. The three-piece. Can he close it out? He does indeed. The ace for Coldamenta. He had a rough time on Icebox, but steps up early on in Acend already.
I love that. The bailout to support the teammate. He knew that at least one of them would be checking to this, but the leap in, he gets it. He adjusts back from trying to check out the dub, but gorgeous work from Koldamenta. That burst could have been so much worse if it was a free trade and there was no quick kill coming back in, but no, he makes sure that there is safety in numbers and puts himself on the line for it as well.
Back into it now. A couple of ultimates again online, and ACEND on the operator, and again more so on this map. This is potentially cause some problems.
Tag
Heretics. He actually did just tag nukkye all the way over in B main. No other information gathered, and that's the thing with Hunter 3. If you don't find the kill, at least getting the tag reveals something. Actually, Starzo over on A site this time around, playing behind Dice, and actually it's going to be they're going to hit this rotation. They've read this perfectly, Lauren.
You're in the right place, but what are they going to do with this? I'm looking towards ACEND. How does he play this one out? The flank will be on the way. He's still sticking around. He still gets his kill. Rubino gets sliced to pieces. And now here we go. In we are. One player does get detained for this, but the spike's en route.
AvovA managed to slip his way through. He finds ACEND there, but no response comes through. There's still a 4v4.
Can they hold for a second or two, allow this big flank to come into action? Rubino's worried about it. He's right to be worried about it, but he finds one. The trade comes out. Killers is there, ready, locked, loaded. The retake now becomes dicey for the now team in the post-plant scenario. Look at this flank coming in. Koldamenta, desperate for the shot. Starkstone shows him how it's done. That's one. The second, no, pAura still finds Killers and AvovA.
How they hold on to that. It's heartbreaking. Koldamenta, if he could just get that kill for free, they can just play the trades there. They can play numbers. But pAura, I think it was pAura that found that kill on Tequilas, right? Completely nearsighted. We'll get a chance to see here. Yeah, look. Swings out from behind Jen, completely blind. AvovA throws down that smoke at the perfect time. I talked about that smoke the last time we saw Heretics. Makes it so awkward to push out of heaven. Again, just neck and neck, these teams.
This is an aggressive round. Look towards short as well. The Aldron's there, but it's being followed. So keep that in the back of your mind building. Bone Cold will get the information. Or it's a bit of a nuisance, but look at this 3-play stack through B lobby. Now there are 2 players playing towards a connector. Oh, Killers, that's so swift. lowel's head just rolls across the floor towards nukkye's feet. Now if they lean in towards A heavily, there's still presence on short. But that's about it. I'm looking to see what nukkye tries to do towards middle as well. ACEND, I don't think saw enough to give away the game. And they're still very cautious about this, but does ACEND continue to look? Through the smoke? Yeah, the criminal strikes again, straight on through. nukkye now has 2 players to the right. He's going to see one, but he doesn't expect the second. But oh, this is great work on the Reyna to try and readjust, keep that ability to stay alive, dip out of dodge. And now just look at this battle. This is so scrappy and bone cold. The flank again. This guy is always in those dangerous positions. Only that sheriff beside him, but they're cornered. And now timing is everything. Just keep in mind, pAura will be cresting it soon. That's 1. That's 2. The third. Oh, the third. Bone cold. Destroys the opponents, and pAura's timing just falls by the wayside. He has to go big right back, and he's doing just that. 2 found, 2 more. Swings on it. 1 no.
No way. Oh. That got so awkward there. As soon as he pulls the turret out, I thought somebody potentially swings on it, or they double swing that. ACEND closing it out. How many times are we going to say a bone cold with the 3-piece?
Spike down.
It was almost negated by pAura doing the dirty work right back to them. He got 2 picks, and then the second, it was almost kind of converting to that 4th, but what an insane game. 5-3. ACEND, yes, they do lead right now with a couple more rounds, but on the other side, the economy's in a little bit of a state, but last time they gave them an opportunity in Koldamenta. Doing the dirty work through the wall, just finding them free, and ACEND's closing the gap. This is just filthy stuff.
ACEND with the perfect pinch. Absolutely textbook. AvovA now, frenzy in hand. Not an awful lot left to do, and ACEND strike once more. 6-3. Look back to Heretics now. Lockdown available. Empress, Rubino with the Hunter's Fury. Couple of playmakers here. Let's look for an execution. Side of ACEND, the Blade Storm, the Revive. much else in the tank for them, but wow. I mean, Acend already come out swinging on map 5.
How much do they have in the tank? We keep talking about it. They keep somehow bringing out more and more. And now we see the op. The angle is huge from CNED. They've shoulder peeking it, sure, but he ain't falling for that. Dipping back in, hasn't revealed position. Oh, now he might! Bylol! And now just gonna take that mid control. There is another player, but apparently Bone Cold had enough. Just fades away and takes nukkye with him. This is a full buy. They're doing this against Killers. Has huge map control. He can call out, there's no one here. Focus towards A. I've got complete freedom.
Spike planted.
Rubino still trying to stay into this. Rez comes in. Aura, look at this post plant though. They're both in the same position. I'm looking at Rubino with that utility. Can he maybe deny some of this pressure coming out? They're trying to clear the side, but time's dwindling. Killjoy still able to buy some time here. Rubino getting ready for this one. He knows that there's now problem coming his way. Gonna send down one shock dart, hope for the best. Keyless puts his life on the line. He will die for this if he has to, but he may not need to. Colder Mentor on the trade. The defuse never was in question. It just depends who they want to give this to, and it will be picked up. And there we have it again, Acend. Just elevating time and time again between that opening work from CNED. Don't worry, the op has been picked up by Stark, so that can be filtered through and a drop can be given to Stark, so if he needs. And then Bone Cold as well. This is just a beyond belief game. Hypoc right now just going to be rejoining us as soon as he can. It is just you and me, chat, enjoying one of the best games I've seen of Valorant in a long time. And once again, we do see Heretics under the gun of poor economy. But hey, it worked for Bone Cold. Maybe they can make it count. But here we go. Have a little look at this one. Stark, so gonna get the feeling early enough. There's that wall going up. Heretics have to respect this for now. The mid play comes out from pAura, and he actually catches Killers. And no trade came off the back of that. Now that might almost lead to a misinformation now come out. And here comes the burst. Just one here. nukkye now breaks in. Just going to shut that door and get to business. They need that spike planted. And there's the cross. Spike to be brought on through. Spike going down. But keep in mind the rifles, the guns, they've been recovered. CNED up and over. No one presents anything this time. They've learned from his ways. The spam from Colder Mentor. Again, nothing finds its way. They're desperate to find this bit of information. 3 players towards hell. They're all sat down towards his CNED. He goes for the ultimate. He's going for this one. There's one. He needs a little bit more here, though. There's still that post plant. Oh, pAura. He's dead and gone, and lowel called upon to clutch. 2 players on the face, and it's Bone Cold and CNED. The MVPs for me for Acend. Three, 8 performance so far. And Acend are exceeding expectations. We've talked about Heretics on this map in the past. It's one that sat so well with them. And I do believe we have a special guest coming in. Lothar, what are your thoughts on this, man? This is insanity.
1 enemy remaining.
Punish. Did he do that 2 times? I think he did maybe even 3. Those lurks from A short, nuts. I'm not sure how Heretics are not like trying to counter that movement, and they're losing map control a lot. It's a little bit awkward, you know. It's a little bit awkward. 8-3 right now on this side. This might be a disaster for Heretics.
And CNED remains unchecked here. They're getting a little bit worried about this AvovA around the back when he gets one, but it is a big one to claim. It's going to be CNED down and Killers down. And now there's an opening opportunity here. There is still Bone Cold lingering around, so don't write him out of anything. We've already seen what he can do, and he wants to do it again. Binds nukkye. That's the spike now lost. Information can be relayed off the back of this. Is there any presence to be found by pAura looking through middle? I'm not sure. Maybe he can catch some timing on this. The wall's still in play. Oh, the jump peak almost cost Colder Mentor his life, but now a bit of a pause for thought here. How do they get back in? How do they get this spike out of enemy hands?
Oh, that was just such an unfortunate timing. And now they're gonna go straight into the arrow and getting wrecked through the wall. Rubino, will you pull it off? He found this small crack in the wall, but there's a second wall. Feels like icebox.
Yeah, rolling it back a map, and Heretics had to fight hard for that one. May not fancy remembering that anytime soon. 30 seconds to play with, and Rubino has a fair crack of utility to play with. There's a player towards the back by Boathouse, spots out him. Now there's two towards the site. One close, one towards the boxes itself. It's towards a new angle.
Maybe it's worth just saving this gun, maybe picking up that operator, but he goes for it. What I'm talking about is the last round. Obviously, you have to go for it. Man, but what a heartbreak for Heretics. And it all started through the pistol round. They had this, let's say, uncharacteristic execute on the pistol round when they just went 5 people B. And it was so successful. They got the kill on CNET, but then Killies just appeared out of nowhere and won the entire round. And he actually plays classic on a pistol round on Reyna, something that not many people do. And yet it is, might you say that it's actually very, very, very decent because you are less, let's say, there are less chances that you're gonna die and higher chances you're gonna get an assist. So you're gonna be a tank anyway, and you're gonna pick up a weapon from your teammates or from a dead body. So I really like the way that they played because I feel like that was one of the things that influenced that pistol round. But now, a 4-1 split for Acend. Actually, they're meeting on mid. Now, Bone Cold is going to get some A presence in the meantime, but here, Drone getting some map control on mid. Doors are closed, so they cannot go through to market without making noise. In the meantime, Cena just gets a kill like that. What?
Imagine being Cena. It must be nice. Just walk around, find the kill. pAura gonna walk the smoke, but it's been already met Bone Cold once in. This is their highlight reel all day long. I thought it finished in the previous half, but no, carries right on in. And pAura and Rubino are just being held back by so much utility. There's still that wall towards short. pAura's gonna try and work his way forward. The spike plant's gonna come in pretty soon. And what can you do to try and deny this?
Spike planted.
I mean, Heretics are being disassembled like some Lego collection. It's kinda interesting to watch because I don't feel like that was the thing on any of the previous maps, but this is Acend on Acend. Has to be theirs, right? Rubino with the kill with the one headshot, but can he do more? pAura?
He's gonna have to.
pAura is looking, but he has 2 people in wine. There's no way. He didn't need even the second person to double peek with him.
This is double digits for Acend.
Very.
They are so close. That was the leverage round for Heretics to build back into this, I feel. You pick up that pistol, okay, you build up that buffer. Hey, at best you convert that bonus, right, you're right back in the game. We're at 10 rounds now for Acend. And that's without taking into account maybe CNET has a crazy round of Bone Cold.
Yeah, but I feel like for Heretics, this has to be a buy round. This has to be a force. Otherwise, you're just letting yourself into a position where you can make only one mistake. You can't let a professional team like Acend here have so much leeway of winning the entire game. You can't, there's always something happening, and there might be one mistake just and ruining the entire match. So they have to force, they do it, but they have 2 sheriffs, 1 ghost, only 1 spectre and 1 stinger. And remember, that stinger is not as good as it used to be. So this might be very well, the entire site is open, but everyone is rotating apart from nukkye, who is just still lurking in mid.
It could come down to a round like this. This is everything that Heretics have. Their legacy on the line, the first strike performance now starting to become a distant memory. CNED ripping it from them as 5 stand to the 4. And the flank, did that just get noted? I feel as though nukkye might have been worked out. No, Starkso looking elsewhere, and here it comes. nukkye can't land it, and they keep 5 alive against the 3. And the spike can be recovered and taken where it pleases. Let's see what they do with this. They take the fight towards short. Bone Cold with 1, but Lau with a trade. But this is everything that Heretics could try and fashion together. Starkso now clears short, doesn't see anything, and they lean towards B with such quick rotations now.
Now, lowel gets that stinger that was meant to be on AvovA, but this is still not looking good. 2 versus 3. 2 versus 4 retake. That's a Herculean task to do. And now, Rubino with just singular peek. There's the backup from lowel with the ghost. They're not doing much damage. They use the heal. Everyone knows where they are. They're just gonna wait. They have such a strong crossfire setup. There's no way you can win that duel. So you can see them regress and just go mid. Maybe even, will you save a stinger and a spectre? Madman!
Desperate times call for desperate measures. This is it. This is all they can do. And I don't know, is there a gun? Is there any other guns around?
CNET had a Vandal, but he's still alive. Even if Bone Cold had a Spectre, that doesn't really matter. Rubino gets 1 kill on Killis, but it's so important for Acend now to just get those kills and deny even those weak weapons. And even if they die, you don't care. They have such a big advantage in both round count and economy. They will still have a full buy next round.
11-3 now. The pressure just is overwhelming for Heretics at this point. You saw what they had to bring that buy-in with. It was nothing, and they're forced into this scenario now constantly because their economy is in such a bad spot, but they can't weather through these rounds, Lothar. They have to keep buying into this now, or they essentially choose the loss at this point. Would you fight for OT in the final map here?
You can't. You can't. You have to fight, but look at the equipment right now. 5 SMGs against 3 rifles and 2 Spectres with full armor. This is gonna be so tough to play. And Acend just reads into it. Heretics have to play short range. They know they can wait. They can be more passive. They can just wait for some people to get impatient and just get that peak. You have an easy headshot. They die from a 1 bullet. Maybe they play small shield, so phantom headshot is enough. Oh, this is gonna be such a tough round for Heretics to pull off. I feel like maybe even just letting them plant and then retaking with those Spectres might be more successful than just fighting for map control.
I'm almost with you. You can see they're so hesitant to commit to these angles. I think you're right. They're willing to have to back away. Now, the spike being left pretty far back, they just want to play safe, make sure there's no crazy aggressive plays, any sort of, unique moments coming out from the defending side. nukkye finds Bone Cold. That's a really good start, though. Now, that's going to at least kind of keep that mid-pressure building away from Heretics. ACEND, though, finds one. That's nukkye now gone, but it's the same player they saw before, so they don't know about the other 2 still here. They've got a good idea, but look at where the spike's going, Lothar.
This is good. This is looking actually pretty decent for Acend. Oh, but wait, they're waiting still on the 3 sector. The time is 15 seconds left, and AvovA gets the backs up.
Oh no!
No way!
Coldament is here.
It worked on the second.
10 seconds.
So much damage being dealt.
It's 10 seconds, Coldament and ACEND to try and keep this one together. It's all on ACEND now. If they want to do this right here, right now, no! Heretics, stay alive for another round!
No way, that shocked that from Rubinho, MVP here. And they get the defuse, and I'm going downstairs because Hypok is back.
Thank you so much, Lothar, for hopping in. Hopefully, Hypok, you are good to go. Let us know if you are, because we can dive right back into this one. Get yourself unmuted, get yourself ready to rock and roll. We're at 4-11. Hypok, if you were backing Heretics...
5 minutes. Look at the scoreline.
I know.
Wow. I mean, I caught that one again. Heretics clinging on, and this, again, after a scrappy purchase. Everything on the line there. But they cling on. Rubinho now. Hunter's Fury online. A couple of others have been pAura 3 away, but the Bladestorm popped off the rip. For them to do some damage here. Look at it. Bucky. A frenzy. Nothing else really invested for Acend.
Can someone just add the DLC of when ACEND pops his ult, the doom music starts playing because you know there's danger now building, even in a round like this. Coldament finds AvovA, and this was the chance for the build back for Heretics, but it has to be perfect. ACEND's on the side. pAura finds Bone Cold, looks for another, gets another. pAura digging deep on this. ACEND called upon to try and dissuade this turnaround, but no. He runs out of all of the options here, tries to just back away from this for a second and see if they can re-aggress down short. That spike is making a mad dash. ACEND, you didn't have the spike, your body does, but maybe you can just slip through towards middle, maybe try and catch a rotation here, and all this madness, but he's only got the classic to work with.
And pAura already going to get all the way back through spawn, and there you go, Rubinho holding that angle as down. ACEND gets shuts down, Coldament, Bucky in hand. He does find the first, lowel will fall. Recon gonna ping, no he doesn't, he managed to avoid it, but they know exactly where he's at. Rubinho closes this one out. Heretics again get themselves around on the board. But, I mean, this scoreline, they're going to need to take the rest of these rounds so clean. So clean. If they allow this ultimate cycle to come through, we know what it's like. It can snowball in Valorant. With this round deficit, I mean, honestly, Acend can just sit back and say, cool, we'll wait for everything to come online for us. Like, we have the window of opportunity.
I can only imagine the adrenaline through Acend's veins right now, and Heretics, the panic, the focus they're trying to pull in. At 5-11, you're right. This has to be near on flawless for them to be able to try and pull this comeback. Now, wouldn't put it past them. They are a damn good team, and lowel gonna get the information for that, but does lose the wall as the response.
Oh, actually, yeah, Rubino. His position noted. He was trying to owl drone there. Coldamenta lands the shock dart. So he's going to sit back again. Expect Heretics to play this deep. If pAura finds one kill, he gets that lockdown on 9. All the utility going to get invested on short here to stop the split coming through. And that gives Heretics a lot of time. Look at it now. Set up. Nukkye potential. Ooh, AvovA actually catches a cheeky one. Bone called. He will fall.
Yeah, freebie you'll take all day long. Spray from CNED, really good for the first couple of connections, and it's pretty good to take back pAura of all players, who's been super clutch from that kind of heaven position, playing in very well. Now, a 5v4 post plant, this is where the time obviously works favorably towards Acend, so they can just kind of dig in deep. Hold for now. Nukkye on that slow, meticulous flank trying to come around. Now, a lot of the post plant is still towards the side, so CNED can be the first man forward, but pAura looks to be his kryptonite for now. The trade's still good, though. Keyless still there, and there's still a 3v2. Make it just one, as it's all down to Keyless. It's AvovA on the play back in, and Heretics needed him in the past, and they might need him again, especially in this game.
It comes back to it again. I mean, I said Heretics look fantastic when they can stabilize, but this is, I mean, as far into that as you can possibly lean. Stabilizing with Acend on 11 rounds. Composure right now just puts the ultimate test for Heretics.
Last player standing.
Take a look at it, and again, this is what I'm talking about. Coldamenta 1 away. Obviously, we know CNED
Right here.
potentially going to play for some of these orbs through at least these save rounds where they've just got pistols coming into it, but...
Hold on, Bone Cold's on his full buy of the Sheriff. Watch out.
Yeah, he's fully stocked. Fully stocked.
This is just a terrifying player, man. I dread to think what he's going to be like the more comfortable he gets. And we do have that 3-2 split towards B, but this is I'll say a stack. He's got the extra lane of a player coming out. It's going to get a little tricky to make work. CNED breaks down the door. Going to keep lowel in a tricky position. Now, if they pressure through towards B main, this is where things can get a little bit pressured. No crumble yet. Nukkye's still fine. Takes down Bone Cold. Rubino the next to try and keep that pressure in the right place to not get flustered. And oh, that's something that's going to put you in the wrong place. Somehow, CNED finds 2. The res invested. They have to keep this together. And Heretics say, no, none more of this. We are done with your nonsense. They lock it down again. 3 alive.
Now, look at it. Yeah, other than the res, which... okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, if they thought they had a fighting chance of getting back into that round... Again, after CNED finds 2, I'm okay with it. But now, 4 ultimates available. CNED, Blade Storm online. Bone Cold, Coldamenta, Keyless, all with theirs to play for. pAura got that lockdown, so expect him to set up his utility fairly deep. And then sit back and maybe lean on that retake. But obviously, the Hunter's Fury available. It's not a flawless plan. There is a counter to that.
Of course it would get close. I can't imagine a better way for this final to be in the final throes of it. The last map potential. CNED. Noted. Chills out towards that Sabrosa spot. Continues his journey. Hounded by the owl drone. Now, everything's somewhat noted at this point. Killjoy has been a fiend at holding this down. pAura has been above expectation. CNED going to go in with just 1 of those knives flung down. So now they know, but CNED's going to be met by a great deal of utility. Breaks through on short and finds nothing. Now the spike has been lost. pAura's done his work. Incredible utility work, that is. And now here we go. There goes the ultimate. AvovA finds CNED, and that's going to be that ultimate shut down. This is like a huge deny. Heretics have found their form. And there it is. Another one falls in the right place for them.
And a big investment. Look at now, I just called it 4 ultimates. They're down to just Bone Cold now. They potentially have another opportunity depending on how the next few rounds go. Even if Heretics tie this up, they can get another ultimate cycle through. But that's a concern. Heretics now building momentum. And the economy just rolling right now.
I hope this is a Tactical timeout for Acend. I can imagine it should be to talk through their economy, to try and keep that mental in the right place, to not get flustered or frustrated. They're still on 11. But you're right, that gap close is abundantly clear. This has now become a close game. Now, looking at the way the frags are distributed as well, pretty even spread for Heretics, and of course the heavy lead for CNED over on Acend. Now, you could chalk it up to a good or a bad thing. You kind of need him to continue a little bit of that form, but it's not like we've got any drastic underperformers. THXACE's fine on 7-13, not ideal, but it's serviceable, like a little bit more, but it's the way the game goes. We go back in now, and the economy in a curious spot. 1 rifle, 2 SMGs, Sheriffs coming out on the rest. Now, of course, on the other side for Heretics, perfect purchase, or at least enough to surely deal with this.
This though, it's just AvovA to hold down A. Now, lowel does come in late, and hey, there was a window of opportunity there for Acend to get in unscathed, but AvovA actually got to back away from that. Acend, a lot of damage on the way in. They're going to get a clean plant here.
Okay, this is where things get a little scary, right? Now, good damage being done. Great work again. Now, imagine this. It's close quarters on the side, of course, so the post-plant, the benefit of those rifles gets slightly neutered. Not a great deal, but enough that it's not as a drastic gap. Time begins to dwindle. pAura has been a huge factor for Heretics on this playback through, but it's lowel this time. There's pAura finding his form, but CNED's still going to try and equal this one out with his pick towards lowel, on towards the side. They see it, but CNED, that's 1, that's 2, the third falls into play, and cometh the time, cometh the man. CNED refusing to relent again and again.
CNED with the ace to put Acend on their 12th round.
Match point.
Oh my word. In the most unlikely of rounds, Lauren.
A second of consideration of how incredible CNED has been. A crowning moment to put them on the verge of destroying the reigning champions, Heretics. They walked out of First Strike looking like gods. And they came into this looking untouchable, and Acend might have just done the unimaginable hypoc. This could be it.
I am the hunter.
I'm just sure we're going to get lots of tags on that one. Actually, nukkye going to follow up on it. Finds that headshot as well. And advantage going over very early. Acend actually going to try and pivot away from this and find this, but AvovA holds its ground. CNED falls now. Try and follow up on this. pAura still tucked behind Generator. Swings out. Bone Cold going to fall. Coldament actually trades that out now. So 2v4 for Acend. And they get another no. AvovA stands strong once again on that position. And he will clean it out. The 3-piece from him. Heretics don't back down just yet. This is what I'm talking about. The nature of those next few rounds. Look at it now. They're on the brink of getting ultimates back online.
Now, does CNED drop the rifle across? Potentially just go for his ult on this. Looks like that might be the case. Bone Cold's got a rifle.
26 and 15.
You ready for this one?
Finals.
CNED's going. CNED is sending this full send. It doesn't work out. He tried to just send it the hell through, gave his rifle to Bone Cold and said, good luck, I'll catch you in the next one. We either win it or I'll see you in the next round. And that's what it'd be looking like now. Bone Cold does still have that rifle with the light armor, but Heretics have held the first wave of the attack. They're now having to prepare for the second portion of what's going to be coming their way.
Unfortunately, I mean, he catches lowel with the wall out. Perfect opportunity to open this round up, but now Acend have to rethink things. As if they're maybe considering stacking up behind this wall. Catching the timing on it is decaying very quickly, and still 60 seconds left, so they can slowly work a pick if they choose to. Like B's the play.
The way in has been crafted, but it gets shut down. That's a rifle now gone, filters through towards Keyless. So far, no success. This is really good from Heretics. Calm, under scrutiny, held themselves together. They make it to double digits. They're on to 10.
Oh my word. They've clawed their way back into this.
One enemy remaining.
I think actually
Flawless.
with no... yeah, Coldamenta one away. I was going to say, it's going to be close. Obviously, seen it. We know put the Blade Storm into that one. Starzo one off the revive. Coldamenta one away from the Hunter's Fury. On the side of Heretics, no real playmakers. Rubino burning Hunter's Fury. pAura 2 away from the lockdown. This is it. I'll be honest, it rides on this. It rides on this round for Acend.
And they start Spike leaning towards A. The presence shown. Like the Reyna push-up from nukkye here, keeping that B lobby control, it allows a little bit more confidence in the lean towards A. And I have to say, between AvovA and pAura, they've been incredible at greeting this approach. A little bit of contact towards middle. You can see the kind of work up from Bone Cold. Going to see if they go for an adjustment maybe here. They're committing pretty deep at this point already. This is 50 seconds on the board now.
Yeah, not a lot achieved in terms of progress across the map. AvovA going to get smoked off in that position. He's been big man again for Heretics here, but Bone Cold actually just sticks the TP all the way onto site. Turret now revealed. Going to deal with that quickly, but this gives them a lot of control actually. 30 seconds left. They're going to get in pretty clean.
They do. Spike to be planted. I'm not seeing anything stopping this. Now I'm looking for that late lurk Miggle from CNED. Here comes the ultimates coming out as well, but look at this lurk coming through. If CNED wins this, they're in problems, but no, nukkye keeps them safe. There is safety in numbers as they double down. Keyless now falls. The retake is on. Coldamenta, Bone Cold, and StarkSo want to close it down now, but they might not be able to. AvovA refusing to relent, and he forces Coldamenta away to a deeper angle, but meets his maker. And now the 4v2. StarkSo down below with one. Oh no! Is history repeating itself? StarkSo wants in, and now he holds the line, and now just the 1v1. lowel has to save the day, and he might just do it.
I will not die here.
He keeps them alive. Got the time for the defuse. Down to the wire once again. And this now for overtime. Acend, I gotta question the economy. Hunter's Fury invested. From the shadows invested. And look at it, a Spectre. 3 Vandals. Starzo gonna come in with the light armor. Gets the full utility here. I am trembling, Lauren.
I can't imagine the mental fortitude needed from both of these sides right now. You've got Heretics pulling off the maddest comeback against some of the most individually skilled people we've seen in a long time. And already, here we go. The quick trade out in middle, but it's Acend to instantly invest that res. nukkye is gone. It's a 5v4. Mid-take begins. Rubino's under pressure here. He's got to be quick on his toes. Dips away, and you can see now the attack inside have kind of hit the brakes for a second. Yes, Bone Cold's a little further ahead, but the rest have fallen back.
This plays into Acend's hands. lowel is going to try and go for this revive. I mean, he has to, right? They have to try and secure here. Look at it. The 3-man push comes through. It's only AvovA here in tree. They're trying to solidify around this position.
The mid-retake. They're going back on the fight. Keyless is there. He's found nukkye again. There's no more res available.
Oh my God.
Stolen. It's all crumbling in middle. CNED leads through towards the side. Rubino's picked up Coldamenta. It's still on. This is scrappy. This is a brawl, and a 3v3 begins. CNED once more, but he immediately receives the barrel of the gun, but Bone Cold right there ready for the trade. He looks for the second. He gets another, and now Rubino with it all to do. Otherwise, this falls to pieces and Acend pick up the victory. This is everything for Rubino.
It comes down to the 6th man, right down to the wire. 1v2, both players tucked all the way back in sight. He's waiting on this recon, I'm pretty sure. Look at the double face comes through. Bone Cold lands it.
Attackers win.
They've done it. They've actually gone and done it. Acend managed to take down Heretics after going all the way, the distance in front of them. A